unity. Welcome to unity. Welcome. Welcome to unity. Welcome to unity. Welcome to unity. Welcome. Join us in singing. Join us in prayer. Join us in touching hearts of people everywhere. Welcome to unity. Welcome to unity. Welcome to unity. Welcome.
Good morning, all.
Morning, Thomas.
Welcome to today's service. Let's begin with acknowledging that we live, work, play, and create on the traditional and unceded territory of the Indigenous people of Vancouver Island, Heichka. And we're going right into song.
Back to the drums with you.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. There was just one presence, there was just one light, shining in the world like a beacon in the night. There was just one power we all can share, one great power everywhere. One great power, one great love, big as the ocean and the stars up above. One great spirit waiting in prayer, one great spirit everywhere. Yes, one great spirit everywhere. There was just one purpose, there was just one spark, burning in the souls like a candle in the dark. There was just one chorus we all can sing, one great power let it ring. One great presence, one great glory, one good light in prayer. One great spirit everywhere, one great spirit everywhere. One great power everywhere.
Well, before we get to the words of wisdom, let us join in a welcoming prayer, an opening prayer as we set into today's talk. Inspire is our word for the day. I just invite you to take a moment. If you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. Just allow your ears to hear whatever they want to hear. You don't have to name anything, it'll automatically happen. And we invite Spirit. Inspire, the root being Spirit. We invite that into our lives, not only in this moment, but in each and every moment. That place within where the Holy Spirit dwells, where we can go to and ask for that internal guidance, ask for that internal strength, ask for that internal will, that internal love to shine forth. And we invite that blessing to be with us throughout each moment of every day, and we invite it for all of our friends, all of the beautiful souls around the world to share in this oneness, this unity, this joined divine spirit. And so it is. Wow, inspiring prayer, and now inspiring words, I think. Yes, we want to do the inspiring words now. Awesome.
One more. There's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
Oh, words of wisdom. I was intimidated this morning when I saw in first inspiring prayer, Thomas DeShooter. Words of wisdom, Thomas DeShooter. And I was like, oh my God. The heaviness, the pressure. Anyway, back to being a little more serious. I want to share, first of all, I want to thank everybody that reached out to me following last week's talk, the congregational gathering afterwards, where so much appreciation and love was shared toward me for last week's talk. I am so grateful to have received the emails and the texts and the words in person from people that were really touched by that. And I want to also share a funny thing for me is back when I was playing music on a circuit and playing drums, there would always be these shows where I felt like, oh my gosh, that is the best I have ever played in my life. I killed it. And I would not hear a word from a single person. Nobody would care. It's like I didn't even play. Then there'd be those shows where I would get off stage and just feel that was the worst performance I've ever had. They should fire me from this band. And people would come up in droves telling me, that was so incredible, man. You're such a great drummer. I never understood it. So last week, after the talk, I went to my drum kit and I sat down with my head in my hands thinking, oh my gosh, they will never let me speak here again. That was the worst talk I've ever given. I was totally way off base, and the exact opposite happened. So what I've come to learn is that if nobody says a word to me, I've got some work to do. And if I feel terrible, I'm probably in the right place. As crazy as that is. Following up with today's talk on Inspire, my words that I'd like to share, it come from a song that was written a number of years ago, and it is, with inspiration comes that desire to create, and this is the end of what that might look like for somebody. So I invite you to just sit back and I'll read this poem. The dancer slows her frantic pace in pain and desperation. Her aching limbs and downcast face aglow with perspiration. Stiff as wire, her lungs on fire, with just the briefest pause, then flooding through her memory, the echoes of old applause. And she limps across the floor and closes the bedroom door. The writer stares with glassy eyes, defies the empty page. His beard is white, his face is lined and streaked with tears of rage. 30 years ago, how the words would flow with passion and precision, but now his mind is dark and dulled by sickness and indecision. And he stares out the kitchen door where the sun will rise no more. Some are born to move the world, to live their fantasies, but most of us just dream about the things we'd like to be. Sadder still to watch it die than to never have known it. For you, the blind who once could see, the bell tolls for thee. That's called Losing It. It was written by Neil Peart. And here's what's happening. Yes, here's what's happening upcoming at Unity. Make a note, we have a new website address, unityvancouverisland.com. We have new email addresses, info@unityvancouverisland.com. We have a new donations for e-transfers, donations@unityvancouverisland.com. After service today, please join in fellowship with Pat Clarkson on Zoom, Talk the Talk. And last week I went home early. It was one of the first times I actually left service right after service and went home, and I joined the call, and it was great. It was just great to connect with people that were from the surrounding areas of Vancouver Island. And of course, Pat Clarkson is actually in Saskatchewan. So it's a great, I encourage you, spend 15, spend 5 minutes, spend 30 minutes with these people. Let's begin to open ourselves up to all of the greatness, all the beautiful souls that are on Vancouver Island that are joining in this community. Exploring our 7 words with Reverend Vicky. Those are Friday from 6:30 to 7:30. And this week, this coming Friday, May 23rd, the topic is Create. And you can see the meeting ID and the passcode there on your screen. And I believe it's in our newsletters that are going out. You can find it there. And this will be the last week of the word series. I don't know what's planned after that, but this will be the last week of the 7 word series. Get grounded and stay connected. You can join Reverend Patricia for a few minutes of quiet reflection to start each day, 9 a.m., Monday to Saturday, on our Facebook page. That's Unity Vancouver Island's Facebook page. And before service on Sundays at 10 a.m., you can start your morning spiritual practice with meditation with either Dawn or Margaret. And again, that is on our Unity Vancouver Island Facebook page. Spirit Group, the Path of Conscious Creation, facilitated by Reverend Patricia, will begin June 3rd, Thursdays from 6:30 to 8 p.m., and this will avoid overlaps with Saying Yes to Change. That's why I think the date was moved. So if you had a date written in there before, stop, change the date, go to your calendar, plug in the new time, June 3rd. There's no fee. Donations are always welcome. And info@unityvancouverisland.com to register. And our annual general meeting. Yay! The annual AGM. Woohoo! Sunday, June 6th, 12 p.m. on Zoom following service. We invite all of our members to join us and have their say in our AGM. Connection calling, training with Reverend Vicky, Saturday, May 22nd at 10 a.m. There will be a link in Thursday's newsletter. That's Connection Calling, Training with Reverend Vicky. And this is a new program that will be open to all of our members, all people within Unity here on the island, and if you're not on the island, even in your community, wherever you are, to learn to do connection calls for those while we're still in this state of not being able to congregate and meet. You can be a part of spreading joy and love and happiness to those that are maybe stuck in their home and need some connection. And there will be a training session for that on the best practices for doing these connection calls. And then you're invited to reach out to people and just let them know that you're thinking of them. And now for some music.
Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Thomas, for those words of wisdom. And as Thomas said, our word for the week is inspire. And it is no accident that this word comes between empower last week and create this week. Because one of the things, if you think about it, one of the things we aspire to do here at Unity is to empower you. And that it is to remind you of your powers, 12 of them. Faith, strength, wisdom, love, power, imagination, understanding, will, order, zeal, release, and life. Ooh, are you inspired?
When?
So the Latin word spir, S-P-I-R, means breathe. This is the root word for many English languages, including inspiration or inspire, aspire, conspire, respire, expire, and perspire. So when we inspire, literally, we breathe in. That's our first use of the word inspiration. And so respiration, what the doctors call our breathing, consists of inspiration and expiration. So when we breathe in, we inspire. When we inspire, we're breathing in. When we are expiring, we don't. Little joke there. When you breathe in, you inspire. When you don't breathe in, you expire, right? So literally, when we inspire, we are breathing in. That's the very first use of the word. Respire. Now, I know respiration, which is the combination of inspiration and expiration, our breathing, our respiration, but it has another meaning, to recover. So our respiration also includes the work of breathing in and out and recovering in between, but respire also means to recover hope, to recover courage or strength after a time of difficulty. And perspire, of course, means breathing through your skin. Aspire. Hope is sometimes a synonym, but whenever there's a prefix A or AD, it means toward. So when we aspire, it means we're moving towards something, or we're moving ourselves. And this is the law of attraction, which, by the way, is not so much about attracting things to you as it is to attracting yourself to those things which you're thinking about. It's another of our most important teachings. And you know, both Charles Fillmore and Ernest Holmes of Science of Mind used that word law of attraction, that phrase, many, many, many years, decades before the 1980s popular movement, the law of attraction, just for interest. So what about when you conspire? Literally, that means to breathe with others. So when you're in a conspiracy with somebody, you're that close that you're almost breathing together. So in Latin, inspirare means, what does it mean? To breathe or to blow into. So that's a little more aggressive, isn't it? Breathe is sort of a transitive verb, where to blow into is also included in that. In the 14th century, that's when that meaning of inspire gained a meaning that we can still give it today sometimes. It means to influence, move, or guide by divine or supernatural influence or action. So it's this use that we see in phrases like scripture inspired by God. And some fundamentalists, literalists of the Bible, believe that God actually did come down to somebody and breathed into their ear when they were sleeping, their instructions. And it's a powerful metaphor, but it is a metaphor as far as I'm concerned, this divine breath of a divine force at work. But we can build on that metaphor if we want to assign that meaning to it. Someone who is inspired, for instance, by a particular artist, is influenced by that artist or that work, and that influence breathes life into their own work. So did you ever read a poem and become so inspired by it that you sat down and wrote a poem of your own, or went to the art museum and came home and started to paint something? Become inspired by that. So something that inspires people to action, inspire then becomes a synonym for motivate. It's a great motivator. And if we say that an emotion or a thought or an idea inspired a project, then we're saying that the divine presence somehow had a part in its coming to be, contributed to its life. So we say that one of our 7 wondrous words is inspire. And we hope thinking of that deeper meaning of inspire is what we're inspiring here, rather than simply being moved. Or sometimes somebody will come up to you and say, you inspire me, or that's an inspiring thought. And that's good, we want that to happen, but we are looking for something as a result of your being inspired. We want you to be moved, yes, but we want more than that. We want you to be moved to action, moved to doing something. And even more important, we would like it for you to learn not to be inspired, but to inspire. To inspire others, you can learn, but also you can inspire yourself. Inspiration can be an inside job. Thomas mentioned something this morning. I got to think up something here. And you can say, okay, self, inspire me. You can turn within and get inspired. So self-responsibility, that inspiring yourself, creating it, bringing it up from within yourself, is another of the vitally important teachings of unity. We learn that by using the 12 powers, we can handle most anything that life throws at us. Although the truth is that life doesn't ever throw anything to us. We attract ourselves to particular situations. So yes, it's wonderful to be inspired by what goes on here. And by the music, we know that Nico's music inspires you, Ken's inspires you, the talks can inspire you, the prayers. But as we say time and time again, We're not trying to raise ourselves up above anybody. We don't want to be the inspired few, just these people in the room. We don't want to be stars. We don't want to be somehow more spiritually advanced than everybody else. We don't want to be intercessors to enable you to talk to God. We don't want to heal you. We don't want to breathe life into you. We want to draw the life out of you. We want to show you who you are, remind you who you are. Let that be what inspires you. Do you remember David Letterman's show? And every evening he had that list of top 10 reasons why such and such. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Yeah? Okay. Well, about that time, there were several New Thought centers, Unity centers, and spiritual living centers who capitalized on that and came up with some theme of advertising based on that. And it was the 10 top reasons why you will love unity. All right. So number 10, you are ready to gain mastery over your own life. Number 9, you feel part of the human potential movement. Number 8, you know that you were born an original blessing. Number 7, you sense that there is power in your mind, but don't know how to use it. 6, your therapist told you to find some place. And this is that place, right? The place of self-responsibility, self-empowerment, self-inspiration. Number 5, you are ready to create a life worth living. Number 4, you love the planet with all its diversity. Number 3, you are done with superstition and dogma. Anybody? Number 2, you dig Buddha, Jesus, the Dalai Lama, Einstein, Oprah, and Lady Gaga. Number 1, you are spiritual, not religious. And I think that's the one thing we hear so many times when people come here. You may have heard me say this before, but there's an old saying that either you can give a man a fish or you can teach a man to fish. In unity, we can take it one step further. We can remind the man that he already knows how to fish. And that's what we're about here. You know that. You already know that because you are connected in universal mind with all the wisdom and knowledge that ever was and ever will be. And when you learned how to shut out the worldly wisdom that hovers all around us, which is really only opinion, and turn within for your true wisdom, you're unlimited. Stephen Sinek, some of you may have heard of him, is a British author and speaker and business consultant. And he has a couple of talks on YouTube that I would recommend you check out. But the gist of his teaching is that companies and individuals who inspiring out there in the world, for instance, he uses the example of Apple Computer Company, the Wright brothers, and Martin Luther King. He says that they all do something that makes them stand out and makes them successful. And that is that they work from the inside out. So instead of Apple Computer saying, want to buy one of our computers? They do all sorts of fancy things. We make great computers. They don't do that. They turn it around. And instead of telling you what they do, they tell you why they do it. He says everybody knows what they do, and they know why they do it. But few people know. Everybody knows what they do, and they know how they do it. But few people know why they are doing what they're doing. So most people and most companies appeal to people's what? And they're inside out, he says. To inspire people, we need to appeal to their why. Because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So commercials for Apple Computer Company start with, everything we do it to challenge the status quo. That's got your attention, hasn't it? And then, because that's why we make great computers. Want to buy one? Because there's a whole lot of us, and I would say most of us here in this discipline, would like to challenge the status quo. So immediately we are aligned, almost conspiring with Apple computers, and we go out and buy their Apple computers. Because, as he says, people don't buy what you do, they buy what you believe. So that's why people buy into what we're teaching here. They like what we believe, what we stand for, and why we sometimes don't buy into it. For instance, when a politician tells us what they're going to do, makes all sorts of promises and plans, we just don't get it. We just sense that we know instinctively who they really are. We sense what they believe, what motivates them, what inspires them, and it's not consistent with ours, and that's why we don't trust that. Stephen Sinek gives another example of Martin Luther King. Why did he reach so many people? See, he wasn't the only man who had suffered racial intolerance, and he wasn't the best orator of his day. But Martin Luther King inspired 250,000 people to come to hear his I Have a Dream speech. And the reason for that is Martin Luther King didn't talk about what was wrong. He didn't blame anybody. He didn't say what needed to be fixed. He didn't lay out any plans. He talked about what he believed. And what he believed was that there is a divine law that is above any man-made law. And until man-made laws come into alignment with that, we need to keep working. So he spoke about what he believed. He spoke about his dream. And his I Have a Dream speech still inspires people today. But he said, I have a dream, not I have a plan. See, so few of us are inspired by plans, really. But we're inspired by dreams. And that's why art inspires us so much. Art is about people's dreams. So why does this teaching inspire? Why does unity inspire? Well, aren't you challenging the status quo in some way? Unity always is. Don't you have a dream? Unity has a vision, a world powerfully transformed. Aren't you here because you don't think mainstream? You don't think what everybody knows? Aren't you here because you're a challenging the status quo type person? You're here because you're a dreamer. You have a dream that things can be better. You're here because you want to explore ideas and find truth for yourself. You're here because you like what we believe. Don't you sometimes wonder why everybody isn't here? Stephen Sinek talks about the law of diffusion of innovation, and it applies equally to technology, to innovative products, and innovative ideas. And this is an innovative idea. At least it was 120 years ago. So the first 2.5 people who buy into it, those are innovators. Not 2.5 people, 2.5% of people. The first 13.5, the next 13.5% are early adopters. 34% are the early majority. And I would say all of us have to be at least in that. Many of us in the early adopter stage. But the early majority won't try it until somebody else has tried it. So many people came here today because somebody told them about unity. But those few who adopted it before it was well known, and we tend to be that kind of people, do we not? Then there's 34% of the late majority, everybody's doing it now, and the rest are laggards. Those are the ones who are still going to the same church grandma went to and still putting the same nickel in the collection and never changing. They're still buying flip phones. So the way we inspire people is by talking about what we believe, putting our beliefs out there so that the early adopters, those people who are looking for something new and better as far as spirituality goes, can hear about it. So what do we believe? When you talk to people, what do you tell them we believe? Well, again, let's review our 5 principles. They inspire me. 1, God is absolute good and everywhere present. There is only one power and one presence active in my life and in the universe. God is in my life, whether or not my life is the way I think I want it to be. God is there. Now, I suspect in order to embrace that principle, to get your mind around it, you probably have to adopt a different understanding of what God is, not what you were taught as a child. And you may prefer to call that presence something else, like spirit or source or the infinite. Whatever you choose to call it, there is a power for good in the universe that's available to you and ultimately is the only power. That's worth buying into. Second principle, people are good. Since humans are made in the image of God, they have a spark of the divine within them. Our essence is of God. We are inherently good, whether or not we are currently expressing that good. We are inherently good. Third principle, thoughts create experiences. Human beings create their experiences by the activity of their thinking. And everything in the physical world had its beginning in thought. We are co-creators with the divine, creating reality through the thoughts we have in our mind. When we truly can embrace this principle, we are forever free of resentment and regrets and victimhood and helplessness. This is what's meant by the power of power, also called majesty or mastery, the power of power. Number 4, prayer is connection. Prayer is creative thinking that heightens our awareness of the connection with God. And I keep harping on this one, that we don't connect with God through prayer because we are always connected. We become aware of our connection and therefore bring forth wisdom, healing, prosperity, and everything good. Number 5, knowing and understanding the laws of life, also called truth, is not enough. A person must live the truth that he or she knows through words, thoughts, and actions. Action is needed. So as I say again, yes, we're happy here to inspire you to have unpleasant thoughts and to feel good. But most of all, we want to inspire you to move out into the world with enthusiasm and confidence. Don't just be inspired. Talk about your inspiration. Because people don't buy what they do, they buy what you believe. And if you talk about what you believe, your friends will be, well, they won't be filling this place quite yet, but they'll certainly be flooding the internet listening to us next week. So please, have the courage, have the inspiration to tell your friends and your family about what unity, I was going to say what unity has done for you, what you have done for yourself by coming to unity. So with that, that's about all I got to say, and Ken is going to sing a song.
You are the heart, you are the hand, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are, and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hand, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are, and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hand, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am, and all I do is a blessing to the world.
And so let's just take a few moments to allow the truth of those words to penetrate our consciousness. And recall the times when your voice, your words, your hands have been a blessing. And how inspiring those times are. And as you inspire, breathe in. Allow your mind and your heart space to be open to all the ways that you can bless. With your thoughts, with your words, and with your deeds. And I invite you to speak the words aloud. I am a blessing.
I am a blessing.
And once more, breathing in and expanding your heart space just as wide as possible. Say with me, I am a blessing. And so it is.
So it is.
No.
No.
That's a definite no. No. We were talking about something else. That was beautiful.
A little Herbie mashup. It was his
Thank
birthday
you.
recently.
Okay. Well, thanks for letting us jam in.
Oh yeah. It's an invite.
Yeah.
I was inspired. We conspired.
As long as we didn't expire. And with that in mind, gratitude. And I don't know about all of you watching, listening, whenever it is you are. I know one of the great gifts I've given myself in the last few years has been a daily practice of gratitude, and it can be for anything. It's grateful. You can be grateful for a paper clip. You know, have you ever really just needed a paper clip and it's there? Yeah.
Or a staple.
A staple, exactly. Like sometimes the smallest things can just save you. A stamp, you know. So a great practice is daily gratitude for whatever. There's no rules. You know, you can be grateful for anything. Today, I would like to acknowledge somebody I have a great deal of gratitude for, and I believe that all of us are sharing in this, is Kyle and the wonderful. Now, Kyle is not some small thing like a paperclip or a staple, but the gift he has brought to our Unity Center in this production and the ability he has shown us in wanting to expand that and create and really inspire all of us and the board of Unity Vancouver Island to see what is possible in us getting our message out and how great can we make this delivery so that many can enjoy it, and also how simple can we make it accessible. And that's one of the things that Kyle has brought to us. Not only that, but just his spirit. Before we go live on Sunday morning, he leads us in whatever comes to his mind. This morning was shake it out, you know. So we were putting the left foot in and the right foot in and the elbows and all of that stuff, and it's just been a blessing. So thank you, Kyle. It's a great pleasure to have you on our team. And my selfish reasoning for that is that I no longer have to do the live productions.
Bonus.
Yes. So wherever you are, just take a moment right now and just look within and ask, you know, what is there that I can be grateful for? And with a smile on your face, I welcome you back. Again, our new email address is donations@Unity Vancouver Island. We say thank you for your financial support, and of course, we request additional ongoing financial support and also all of the great volunteers that are doing work. We have our AGM coming up. We're going to be inviting new members onto the board. Doing board work is a great gift to be able to be involved with the nurturing and the fiduciary responsibility of this center and its growth is a true blessing. And so I look forward to working with our new board upcoming. And again, if you have any gifts that you want to bring to Unity of Vancouver Island, just reach out. You can let us know what that is, and we will be here to support you. And join me now in our abundance affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
God is my
join us next week, next Sunday, as Reverend Vicky is back with our final of our 7 Wondrous Words series with Create. And join me now with the Vision for Unity Worldwide Ministries, a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And our children's blessing, we see the light of God shining as you. We love and appreciate you just the way you are. And our prayer for protection. The light that is God surrounds me. I am one with the light. The love that is God enfolds me. I am one with the love. The power that is God protects me. I am one with the power. The presence that is God watches over me. I am one with the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well, and so it is. Amen.